Welcome back to the AAA podcast, the show that goes access all areas to everything music and everything in between. So today we have a photographer who's worked at festivals including Southbound, Laneway, Falls Festival. I don't actually know whether you DOP'd or you just did everything with your indie horror film, Thomas House. And also you go by the Grommet or the Grom in the web series Boston, Pluggy and the Grom.
So correct.
Welcome, Lewis. This is going to get confusing because my name is Lewis and we've got Lewis as well.
Two Lewises.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for having me.
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Just come back from a trip from Vietnam and just getting back into my last unit of uni, which is like... should have been done last semester. I should have been finished with uni by now.
You took too many holidays.
Yeah. And then this last unit was meant to be... last semester, but then it got moved to this semester, so I've had to come back for another 6 months just to finish this one unit.
Well, I guess that actually brings up that segues perfectly into the first thing I was going to talk about, university. Like, so basically people that study at university versus people that don't study at university. And we actually brought up with you guys, yourself, Jackson, all of that, how you guys do study. Yeah. How do you feel that compares from obviously someone that studies at uni compared to someone that doesn't? Like, do you feel it's benefited you or? Yeah,
I feel like it has benefited a lot because I'm doing a double major in photography and film and video. So it's like the photography side I found wasn't as, like there was certain aspects of it that like I wouldn't have done outside of uni, like, develop your own film and do all this stuff, which was like really cool. And
I brought that up in the...
Oh, really?
That was my example.
Yeah, well, like that was something that was really cool. Like I'd never had like any experience with shooting film, anything like that. So there's units that like specifically are like, you have to do this. We got to develop film, and it's like a really different experience going from like shooting digital, where it's just like 100 photos, whatever. Whereas this one's like, we got to make sure that your lighting's good, this, and this. You can't just take a photo, look at it, and be like, oh, yeah. It's like you got to make sure you know what you're doing. Then when you develop it, and then other stuff like studio work and like I just did a photojournalism unit, which was cool. So I had to go out and like interview and like make like a half video, half photo piece and like stitch it together as like a photojournalism unit, which was cool. But I really found that in the video and the film side of the degree, that's where like I found probably the most beneficial, because with a lot of stuff that we do like freelance and all that sort of stuff, there's a lot of times where you shoot like a nightclub video or you shoot something else and it's just you by yourself as a sole videographer, and so you have to edit, find the music, do all this stuff, whereas this side of the degree really like threw you into like group assignments, and like they were like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, like a DOP. And they're like, cool, well, you're not going to do that. You're going to go direct, or you're going to be editor or sound. So it really throws you into like different roles.
Throws you off.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool as well, because it's like I'd never had done sound before, or like I'd never directed before. And then so someone like wrote something, got put into the group, and they're like, all right, cool, now you're on sound. I was like, I've never done sound in my life, but I'll make it work. So you're sort of sitting there. But as good as it is...
Did you buy those headphones specifically? Sorry.
Pardon, what was that?
Did you buy those headphones specifically to do sound?
Yes. No, these headphones are...
You can't hear it, obviously, but they're massive.
Yeah. They're like...
They're definitely not built for speed. They're built for comfort.
Yeah. But yeah, so with the only downfall is that there are people that are in those classes that don't want to be there. Like they're just doing it, it's just an elective. So you've been thrown into like a group, like a group assignment, and you're like, cool, I've written this, I'm going to direct it. But then there's like, you'll have people who are just there just because, and they'll be like on sound, and they'll be like, yeah, cool, everything sounds good. They've never done it before, they don't really care. There's people who don't rock up to the productions and stuff. Yeah. So you're sort of like having to like, but it's kind of cool as well, you're problem solving and doing all this stuff, but yeah.
Would you say with like studying at all, has it taken the fun out of it? Like opposed to before you began?
No, I reckon there's enough like sort of different things that you're doing that still make it fun.
Yeah.
And like this stuff like I would never have done probably if I didn't go to uni.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so I was meant to finish my degree like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was taking time off to travel with Boston Switch and Ash Pluggy and like do a lot of travel stuff. And I couldn't like balance uni and that at the same time. So I went off and did all that and I got like a lot of real world experience. So it was sort of like, I found that when I came back and I did some of the photo stuff, I was like, like I've already done this. So like it wasn't that interesting. But if I hadn't had that like real world experience and stuff, then it would have been so much fun. But like a lot of it, there was some units where like I would rock up, they're like, cool, you have 7 weeks to produce 5 landscape photos. And I was like, yeah, cool, I can do that. Do it in like 2 weeks. And then I'd be like, cool, well, I'm not going to rock up for the next couple of weeks. Which is a little bit lazy, but at the same time I was like, well, like I'm not learning anything new.
You've really done.
Yeah, like I'm not learning anything new, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I guess it is interesting to, I guess, differentiate, like, so for, like, Camille, that he's obviously got his success, but he hasn't studied anything at uni, and then you've got yourselves who have, like, you've got your success,
Yeah.
but you have gone through, it's, like, different pathways, and I get, like, that's what me and Joel were kind of exploring is, like, even though you've taken different paths, you basically ended up at the same or a similar scenario.
Yeah. It's definitely something that we do that you don't need to be at uni to do. Like, I've been at uni and I still recommend it to people. I'm always like, yeah, you should go do it because like you get put in, as I was saying, like, you get put in like scenarios that you've never done before and it's all like new. But like it is definitely something where I don't know. I don't think that there's ever been a time where someone's been like, do you have a degree in photography? Otherwise, I'm not going to hire you.
I've never had that.
Yeah, so it's just sort of like, like, and it's all portfolio stuff as well. So it's just sort of like, if they see I think it's something that, like they need to see
It's
the
a visual.
actual.
Yeah, it's a visual
you
thing.
actually need to see what the person can do rather than like a degree.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's what I find. So
Did you ever study at TAFE?
no,
No.
I just went straight to ECU.
Do you know anyone that studied it? Like comparing obviously TAFE to uni is.
I don't think I know anyone that's done TAFE, and the photography side.
I guess uni would have more. You got more resources as well.
Yeah, and I think as well, like certain unis like that you go to will have like different aspects. Like I'm not 100% sure, but like I think Curtin or UWA, one of them, if you were to do like a photography thing, it's a lot more theoretical rather than practical.
Where are you?
I'm at ECU.
Okay.
So yeah,
And that's more more practical than.
yeah. It's like they do have their like theoretical units and stuff, which are like they're still interesting though. It's like the history on photography, blah blah blah, and they're fun. But I do enjoy like the practical side a lot more, and that's sort of like I find that's what they offer a lot. But I haven't been to another uni, so I don't know if it's like more than another uni or yeah.
And you've made friends out of it as well. Like obviously you've got Jackson and.
Yeah. So it's funny like coming from like high school and you're like, oh, these guys are gonna be like my best friends, this and this. But then you go to uni or like you meet people that are like doing your not degree, like they're doing like photography or video, and it's just like because they're all wanting to do the same thing, then it's just like, oh, you're going to connect a lot better with those people, and especially like Jackson and other friend Rakeem.
It's like like-minded people.
Yeah, like-minded people. Like you're meeting creatives and they have the same interests. So that's what I was trying to get to. They have like the same interests, so like you're going to connect like way better.
Yeah.
And it's yeah.
You lose words when you're doing this, hey?
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're like, be talking. I did it last time and I was like sitting there for ages and it was like dead silence because I was like, the word I'm looking for is...
And then you can just hear yourself in the headphones. You're like, oh.
Yeah. No, I guess it is interesting to see how like different ways in which you, I guess, learn and that like some people are just go straight to like I never studied or anything like you just go straight to just teaching yourself or
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, and I think it's an industry as well where it's like a lot of who you know
Yeah,
as well. Like I've learned a lot by like self-teaching and stuff like that. So that's
it's more the opportunity. Like the opportunities are who you know, not what you know. It's, but learning is, I guess, the way in which you learn and the what you learn can be done in various ways, whether you go to uni, whether you go to TAFE, where you teach yourself.
Yeah.
But the way in which you get the opportunities isn't based on what you learn. Like if you're really talented, got an excellent degree, but if you don't know anyone, you're not going to go very far.
Especially like I find the social aspect as well. There's like
I feel like someone's going to call me out on that. They're like, this person studied at uni, they didn't know anyone, and now they've gotten heaps far. Heaps far.
heaps far.
And now they're killing it. Yeah, but we in saying that, it's like they did know someone because they met him via uni.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you said you met people through uni.
It's networking.
So uni, in a sense, is networking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this last unit that I'm doing is called Prep for Professional Life, and it's for like the creative. So it's like graphic designers, photographers, video, everyone doing all those sort of like creative art degrees. And yeah, we had like a mock network thing. All the classes just would go into this space, and everyone just had to chat to people. And it was just like, if you weren't social, like I don't know, it's hard. I feel like social is a big aspect to it. Like if you're afraid of talking to people and stuff like that, you're not really gonna.
But it depends. Like some people have a safety, like myself. Like if you put me in a room like that without my camera, I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. I'd literally sit there. I wouldn't sit there by myself, but like, I wouldn't like. Whereas with my camera in my hand, it's like my like safety net. Like I could literally walk up to anyone and talk about anything. Whereas like without it, it's kind of like
you feel naked without your camera. You're like, what? Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like when I work in Greece, like I'm working like every night and I have a camera. I'm super social. I'm like, oh yeah, this and this, and then like one night I have a night off, and then I don't have my camera.
You just sit there,
sort of like sitting there like, why are these people looking at me? Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Also, people tend to like hire you as well if they know you're like a charismatic kind of guy.
Yeah, I feel like you can't like it's. One part is like, oh, this person can do the work. But if you're social and you can chat to people and like be friends and not awkward and stuff, I feel like, people are more likely to hire you. I don't know if that's a thing. That's something I find.
That's the thing. We were talking about that last time. Yeah.
And you get the vibe off, like, if you're like not easy to talk to or not easy to like get along with, like, why would someone want to hire you? Like, if you're awkward, then it's hard for people to kind of like, well, we're not going to book him because like, why?
Someone's going to put their trust in you as well when they're getting you to do a job. They want to know you're going to do it good, but they want to know you're a good character as well.
Yeah.
No, it's... now, I was going to mention as well, obviously, with uni, you had your... the movie that we were talking about before, Thomas House.
Yes.
I was going to say, like, what did you do on that? Because I couldn't remember what you... Like, whether you were just roving around everything or whether you were DOP.
So my role on that...
maybe fill everyone in on what it is as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Thomas House is a short horror film that we worked on. So Jackson Healy wrote it, directed it, and I was like the behind-the-scenes photographer / production manager, assistant. So like I was running around on the day, like making sure everything was running smoothly, making sure like art department was fine, like... lighting and director, everyone was like, you guys got coffee, you got everything, like this and this, just making sure like making sure the production was just running smoothly. So we shot that over a couple of days at Fairbridge Village. Yeah.
That's a scary place.
Well, apparently it actually is haunted.
Back in high school many years ago, we stayed there for a camp. I can't remember what it was, and we did a thing. It was like a midnight, like we walked around. It's like
it's eerie.
Oh, it's like there's some weird shit going on there.
Yeah, it does have a very eerie feel to it, and it's just like I think there was like many years ago, like there was something that happened to like a family or something that was there. But we only found that out as we rocked up to start shooting, and I found out, I was like, oh, cool. Do I share this with everyone else?
Didn't you sleep there as well?
Yeah, we slept there for 2 nights.
What did you sleep in? Tents?
No. So we had like the main Fairbridge house.
Yeah.
And that could sleep like 20 something people. Yeah, and I think crew wise we had like 10. I think like at least like 10
went down
there.
with 10, came back with 9.
Yeah.
So within that actual house that sleeps 20 people, something happened.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think if you Google it, you can find it. But it's just like
I'll Google it while we're...
What's the location?
Fairbridge Village. It's not that far from here, I don't think. I think it's like another like 20 minutes away from
So what is it, some kind of mansion or something?
No, so it's like an actual like village of like I think you can just like
you can stay there. I think
stay
a lot
they
of
have
schools
like
do like camps and stuff.
Yeah, there was 2 school camps when we were there, and then I think they do like a Fairbridge Village festival, which is like live music and stuff like that.
It's kind of like they do a lot of like team building stuff there. Like that's
why place to do it. But yeah, no. So we shot that over a couple of nights. It was very intense, but it was like going back to when I was like, oh, at uni you get put into a group assignment. There's obviously people who don't want to be there. This and this. Whereas this one, each person that was there, cast and crew, wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So and like usually during uni, like a lot of people didn't know like about lighting or this. So we just like shoot everything, just whatever lighting we had. But we had like actual like lighting department, makeup department, art designer, script supervisor. Like we had massive crew of people, and it felt really like legit. And yeah, the film came out really cool. But yeah, it was just like cool just to see how everything worked.
Yeah.
Like in a a professional environment. Like yeah, it was just really cool. So
was it like a final thing? Like a final assignment first?
So Jackson had this idea for ages, and then he had an independent study unit, and so it's like, come up with your own like assignment.
Is this why there's so many indie films? There's all these unis?
Probably, yeah. So he was like, I'm just gonna commit and make this last unit like about the film. So my photojournalism assignment that I was doing last semester, I based it off us doing the film. So I like videoed like a heap of behind the scenes stuff, took some photos, sat Jackson down, sat some of the actors down and interviewed them. I was like, how'd you find your experience? This, and this. But yeah, it was really cool. So
have you released any of the behind the scenes stuff yet?
I gave Jackson the behind the scenes documentary little thing that I've done for it. I'm not sure if it's might be on his Instagram or on YouTube.
But has the film been?
So the film's done, but we're just in the process of putting it through like film festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I think the thing with that is you can't release it. It has to be like exclusive to the film festival sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So afterwards we can release it.
Yeah.
But I think just for now it has to be all like under like lock and key.
Well, because the trailer's released though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll put a link, obviously on, if you're watching this on YouTube, we will put a link down below so you guys can check out the what am I looking for? The trailer.
The trailer for the short film Thomas House.
Yeah. No, it looked good. Like the editing, because did you do the edit for the trailer?
I did the first little teaser trailer, like the 6-second one, and then we had like a 30-second one that someone else edited.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad little thing. Like it's you obviously haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
But yeah, it's like, how do I for like an indie film?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be like, this is gonna be not shit, but this is gonna be corny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Are you watching it? It's actually like, man, you guys did a pretty good
Would
job.
you say it's pretty scary?
Yeah, I'd say. To me, like I love watching horror films, so like it's different to other people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like there's times I'm like, I didn't find that scary, and people are like, are you kidding me? That was like the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. So
I generally don't watch scary stuff, so
you'll find it good then.
I might go out of my way to watch this.
Yeah, you'll probably. I would say you probably get scared if you don't.
Do you jump in like scary movies when you watch them?
Depends. There's like a lot of... I find there's a lot of horror movies that are out there that do very cheap jump scares and they're very predictable.
Yeah.
It's just like, a person's like reaching over to grab the door handle and the music's building up and you're like, all right, open the door, something jumps out. And I'm like, well, that's sort of like predictable. But then I like the other like misdirection stuff where like you think something's going to happen and then it doesn't happen and then it happens.
Yeah.
But there's a movie Hereditary that just came out this year. That wasn't jump scary at all. But, actually no, there was probably like one jump scare in it. But just the whole premise of it freaked me out. It was just like, I don't want to give it away because like...
Are you going to watch Nun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Slender?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think I'm just going to watch it just because. I don't think it's...
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I steer away from scary movies, but I see them advertised.
Yeah.
Would you say that going back through the movie when you watched it, did it scare you more than you thought it would?
Yeah, well, there's like... Obviously, I was there and I was like, oh, yeah, cool, like... I saw it all come out, but then having like we had our sound guy compose like the soundtrack and did all the sound for it and all this stuff. So it was like I didn't realize that stuff was there.
Yeah,
and there was just parts of the film that I just forgot about.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, like cool. And then something happened. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was going to happen. But yeah, but I think it's really cool being on the set of a horror film and just seeing how it all works. I find that horror films are really good, like. You need like sound has to be like on point, like everything. I think it's just a good all round showcase of talent.
How did Jackson go with directing? Like I know that there's a lot of horror films. I'm trying to think of there was one years and years ago. Like it's a well known one, and the director kind of like put a lot of fear and like. Was there kind of like, was he kind of not distant, but like, was there ways in which he kind of made it so that everyone was kind of always on edge to kind
of... So what he did was there was like, with the actors, he would be like, all right, the actors are going to get into their like zone for this scene. No one talked to them. And like the actors would like go off, like face a wall for like 2 minutes. Like it was creepy. Like they like stand in like the corner of a room. And I was just like, and I'm like in the other room, like making sure things, and I would walk back in. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Are they filming a scene?
Yeah, and then so he did a lot of like letting the actors get into the zone, like making sure like the crew wasn't chatting to him or being like, hey, like blah blah blah. So they
what are you doing today?
Yeah, so they fully like got into it, and the cast that we had, especially the two main female leads that we had, killed it. Like,
do you want to give them a shout out? You can't remember their names.
No, I can't. I'm trying to do. I was going to do Instagram, and then I was like, I can't remember the Instagrams.
We'll link it later on.
Claudia and Sumi, you guys did great, but I can't remember what your Instagrams are. So
terrible. How long did you work with them for? It's like 3 days.
I only worked with them for 2. But I wasn't there for the rest of it.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
Then. I'm trying to search. I can't find any like. All of this stuff is about people that have tried to like go and film haunted stuff, but I can't find anything that's like
no actual info.
Yeah, and the other thing is I don't have my glasses, so these big paragraphs.
It's just a blur. And you're like,
it
might be in here.
He doesn't have his glasses, but he's got his hearing aid.
Let's not go there.
Would you say with the horror stuff? Because you said you've done like some work in Greece and stuff.
Yeah. So that stuff is has been through Boston Switch and Ash Pluggy, and we started off just doing this web series because we got booked. So I started working for them in 2015.
Yep.
I was like up north working on like a charity project, and they just called me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come on and do this?" We're doing this WA tour. Like our photographer can't make it, who's Perry at the time, so he couldn't.
Was Perry doing it?
Yeah, so he couldn't make it at the time, so he put me forward for it, and it was like, oh, we got a show in Geraldton, a couple of shows in Perth, Bunbury, Bustleton, and this is at the end of 2015. And I was like, yeah, sure, like might as well.
Why not?
Yeah, I was like, sounds kind of cool, and then like did it, and I think we all just like instantly like connected and bonded, which is cool. And then we went and did Left Bank Christmas Eve in 2015, and then we were doing like a lot of photo and video stuff for it, and then there was a company that sort of half sponsored us to go to the East Coast, and sort of like 3 mates traveling in a van like down like the East Coast, which is sick. We did it over 5 weeks, but like
3 dudes, 1 bed.
Pretty much. No. But it was just like, I think in theory it sounded cool. You're like, oh, like just like 3 best mates, like in a van traveling the east coast of Australia. But then it's just like, this van was like small. They had surfboards. There was no room. Like we're like pretty much like sleeping on like our like clothes and everything. And it was just like, it was still a lot of fun. But then after that,
You're like, I want a hotel. I want my own driver.
Yeah, so like after like 5 weeks and we got back to Perth, we're like...
Was that 5 weeks?
Yeah, we did 5 weeks. So we did from Noosa to Torquay. So like, I think like an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Brisbane, and then ended up in Geelong. Yeah. So yeah, so we did that whole thing over 5 weeks, and we stopped off like Brisbane, Sydney, did all like shows and stuff through there. And then, yeah, we that's where the Bossum Plugging the Grom web series sort of started. We were just sort of like, right, we're going to do this web series, just document the whole 5 weeks. And then so that sort of turned into like season 1. And then we were like, oh, now we're going to go to Greece. And then after that was like Thailand. And we did all these, and then like Southbound, we did all these gigs. So we're like, let's make this into like the second season. And like,
so you just kept on going.
Yeah. But yeah, so the first like season of it was cool. Like it was like that 5 week adventure, and it was sort of new to me as well. Like I wasn't used to doing like the whole like documentary style stuff, like videoing like
you
pretty much everything.
More. Yeah,
like you just had to like video like everything, and so that was fun. And then we did Greece, so that was 3 weeks in 2016, and so we did video there. That was so much fun. So that's in EOS, and then came back. And then I think we did Bali or like Indonesia, and then Southbound, Darwin, and then Thailand. And yeah, so I've just recently finished editing and getting them all done. But we haven't really traveled that much. So we've sort of like put it like that season 2 was like it.
Yeah.
And then we're just doing like vlogs and stuff now of all the other shows. Because like those web series were so... It'd be like, oh, we have to compress 2 weeks worth of stuff into like 10 minutes. Yeah. So you're trying to like... It was like a lot of effort trying to find like music and this, trying to like... I was like, I want this part in there, but it's not going to fit. And so now like the vlog stuff is like a lot more easier.
You just do it each one kind of...
Yeah, just as it comes, and it's just like one night or something.
Yeah.
Instead of like 2 weeks.
I was going to jump. I found something in this ghost thing.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll read. This is on, what's this site called? Paranormal.com.au.
Ooh. Legit.
Yeah. I'm just going to read. I'm reading what it says here, right? This doesn't help, this first sentence. Unfortunately, there is little evidence to support supporting the rumoured tragedies and crimes that occurred at Fairbridge. In its early days, it was a farm school. However, various sources have informed me that there was a triple murder-suicide occurred in that particular cottage at some stage in the 1920s, 1930s. Father apparently murdered his 2 sons and their grandmother. Apparently they all reside in the same house, and then took his own life shortly after. The cottage itself is said to have multiple energies. A child's playful laughter is often heard from empty rooms of the cottage. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so that's all I've got there.
I'm pretty sure that's the same thing I read, and I was like, now, do I tell everyone else
is this legit? Or
yeah? Like,
do you believe in that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Did you feel these energies?
No. Well, I think because if we were just there in a different like situation, we were just there just to hang out, it might have been different. But I think because we were there...
Oh, yeah, you were concentrating on
what you were concentrating on doing all this stuff. But I just remembered, so our producer, Montana, she went to see... What are the... Not a psych. What are the...
Medium?
Yeah, I think a medium. And then...
Like a card reader or something.
No, someone to be like, not a naturopath. Something about like
Like a Mordu.
no idea what that is. Like some Lord of the Rings.
Sorry, that might have been in a foreign language.
No. So one of those people who sort of like read like
Yes, like
spirits.
energy.
Yeah. One of those.
A
people.
Mordu, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Medium.
That. Yeah. So
We don't want some like Lord of the Rings character.
but yeah. So she went and saw this like psych Mordu. And yeah, apparently they're like, oh yeah, you've got like energy, like spirits that are clinging onto you.
Wait, was this before or
After.
Oh, after. Okay, yeah.
After,
That's a
and
bit
then-
eerie then.
I know Montana. She would have been freaking
Yeah.
out.
So and she was like, oh okay, and it's like yeah, because apparently it was because the spirits that were there were like, oh, you guys were filming entertainment within the property, so like it's
Oh, okay.
latched onto you. So
Apparently, if you I have no idea how I know this. Apparently, if you hold a dog, they like dogs repel spirits. I have no idea how I know this.
Wow.
But yeah, apparently, if like it was something to do with like there was a haunted thing, and it was into I know what it was. It was an interview with BB Rexha, and she was at this. She was filming a music video. Don't ask me why I was watching an interview of BB Rexha. She was filming one of her music videos, and they filmed it in this big like factory. I think it was in the States, but it was a very haunted old theater.
Yeah.
And apparently there was like a lot of spirits and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And she had a dog there, and one of like the dancers or the actors was like, "Give me a dog. Like I want to hold your dog." Because apparently they repel. Yeah, because they can sense stuff that we can't. So
yeah. And even like burning sage, apparently. You go through and burn sage.
take a dog next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard the
Just,
same
like,
thing.
sit there the
Animals.
whole
I don't know specifically dogs. I heard something about gorillas as well, but obviously it's hard to get a gorilla.
Just rock up to a film shoot and just like got a gorilla with you, just like
I love
Love
how
it.
you
I
throw
love
like
it.
these words like Mordor, and yeah. I heard gorillas scare off.
most,
Gorillas
like,
would
over the
scare off
top.
most things.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Like there's certain animals that are connected to. If you get into it, there's certain animals that are connected to and used for like satanic stuff, and then there's known animals that are more so known as righteous creatures, I guess you could say. But that's a whole something different.
You've obviously been like traveling a lot. Like since I've known you've done quite a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Where do you think? Where's your favorite place?
Oh, favorite trip I've done to date is we did a trip to Finland and Russia at the end of 2016. Hands down, like probably the best trip place I've ever been to. Because I've done Greece, I've done Thailand, just recently did Vietnam. All those places are really cool. Like it's either tropical or like Greece is more like
Mediterranean.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
you
the
just
word.
stared through me just then, like Mediterranean. I'm like, oh. But yeah, Finland was like
His spirits.
yeah, straight.
Don't say that.
So Finland and Russia was just like so different. Finland was like on average it was like negative 20 something degrees Celsius.
God.
And it was just cool. Like it was something completely different. Like it was only sunlight for like a few hours a day. Like by like 3 p.m. it's like dark already. And we just the activities we did like ice fishing.
Is that where you like go through like?
Yeah, you have to like full.
I think it is very self-explanatory, but still.
Yeah.
Is it you put the
yeah,
thing
you got to
in-
put like the big
thing.
the big metal.
Let's
Like a
describe-
saw, like a saw.
Yeah, but like you like spin it and
drill. That's the one we're
yeah,
looking
it's
for.
like a
Yeah.
like
hand drill.
You got to kind of like route it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did stuff like that. We did we had like ride with like huskies.
Oh.
So we were like on
On a sleigh sort of
like
thing.
yeah.
That was very picturesque. I've seen.
Yeah. Husky sleds.
Yeah, and there was just so like, and then just some of the landscapes there are just incredible. Like we rocked up to this one place one morning, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go down here, and then we'll see about like ice fishing and stuff." We walk out, and it's this big plain, and everything's just white. And I was like, "Oh, like is this what is this? And they're like, oh, it's a frozen lake. And it's just like, no one had walked on it yet. So it was just white, like all across, and all the trees were just like, I don't know. It was something I'd be like, this isn't even real. Like,
this is fake, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so that was like, we did like a lot of like adventure stuff there. And then we hopped on a train and trained it into St. Petersburg for a couple of days in Russia. And that's like intense. Like, you know how like you go to Indonesia, it's like, cool, you get like a 30-day visa. Ours was like 4-day visa. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, that's all they gave you.
Thanks.
But it was cool to go from somewhere that was very like relaxed or like adventure-y, and then you come to this place and the history that's there, like some of the places we went to see, it's like, oh, you're going to go see the Ice Palace, Winter Palace, Ice Palace. I don't know, in Game of Thrones, I don't know.
Same thing.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so you went and they're like, oh, the Winter Palace. And you go in there, like architecture, like all the history behind like all these things. And it's just like, man, there's so much culture in these places. And those 4 days that we were there, it was like so incredible. Like, so if you ever get the chance, definitely go to Russia. It is sick.
With all these things you've been shooting in these foreign countries,
Yeah.
what kind of stuff are you covering for people that haven't seen your work before? Are you doing like nightlife based stuff, travel sort of videos?
So most of the videos is all lifestyle travel
Yeah.
stuff. Same with the photos, except for like Thailand and Greece is both travel and like nightlife.
Yeah. Because you're doing that with
Club
Boston
sources.
Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we work at I work at one of the bars that are there, and so that's Alt Bar. And yeah, so we just do like social stuff for them at night, and then go out and do like all their promo stuff during the day. And then there's a beach club down on the beach. So
There's a beach club in the mountains.
yeah, and that just goes crazy off. And they like they had Nervo.
Yeah.
Nervo came in, and Will Sparks plays there actually. He comes in, does his shows there, and
Shout out to Will Sparks.
yeah.
That's his shoe there as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. He made a shoe, limited edition.
Oh snap!
Yeah. There's 400 of them. just shouting out them. Sorry.
Yeah,
I love how Lewis always brings it up. Yeah, there's only 400 of them. There's a pair right there.
and I've got one of them.
I was one of the first people to buy them. Thank you very much. Still waiting on Will to come here and sign them. But
You make it out like you got a free exclusive pair. And yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I was one of the first to buy them.
But yeah, so like I do that as well. So, but yeah, for the rest of the stuff, it's just travel, lifestyle.
are you paid by people? Like, is it like working with people over there, like brands and that, like, or?
Yeah, so a lot of the times, like I'll have a few brands that will send me clothes or products, and I'll just go over and shoot photos and stuff for them.
Yeah.
Like I can't reach my bottle that's on the floor there. Chili's bottle.
You can get it. Yeah. Lean down. That's fine.
Chili's bottles. These guys hit me up when I was in Greece, and
Hold it up for the camera. Is it? Yeah. Bit of promo
yeah,
there.
yeah. So they hit me up when I was in Greece, and were like, "Hey, we see all like your work. We wanted to send you like some stainless steel."
Could you
Quality.
slam that
Quality.
down it on the
Just like banging on the table.
I didn't bang on the table. It sounds loud through the microphone.
But yeah, so they were like, "We love your stuff. We want to send you some products. Can you just grab some? Like, just do what you do," which is cool. So just like some lifestyle photos of like girls or guys holding them, and just them in like really cool places. And they pay me for it as well to get the photos. So I was like, that's cool. So sort of like all the travel stuff is cool because these guys.
Do they keep it chilly? Does it keep it chilly?
Yeah. No. Yes.
You
I
have the
like-
seediest
20
look on your face right now.
For 24 hours.
Guaranteed.
Guarantee.
Dude.
And then 12 hours hot.
I'm gonna test you. Do you know how much they are?
Yes, they are €25. Pounds.
£25.
Yeah.
So whoa, that's like 40
$40.
something, $50. It's a lot for a water bottle.
But they're good.
They're good.
They're good.
Are they worth it? So
Definitely.
they're from the UK. Can you buy them like
Yeah, so they sent them to me last year. when I
Chili?
was
You
in
better
Greece.
send us some water bottles.
Yeah. This could be the sponsor. Like,
Chili's water bottle.
so when they first were sending me stuff, they only shipped to Europe.
Yeah.
But now they ship worldwide, which is cool. So, but yeah, they're cool.
Oh well, I like the contrary to what I'm wearing right now. I love like black clothing and like,
Yeah. And it's cool.
Like,
It's how simple.
It's nice. Yeah, like
It's very simple. They've just got like their one little logo. And
do they
that's
do
it.
different colors and everything? Or?
Yeah, I've got like 12 at home now, and they're just like they sent me like 5. They sent me like 5 fluoro ones, like fluoro pink, orange, yellow, and green. I was like, cool. I have all these water bottles now, but I still just use this one. Like, I don't need to use all the other ones, but like they're good to have. And yeah, it's just so, especially when they sent these to me in Greece, I was doing all these massive adventure days, and it's like 35, 40 degrees over there, and it's just like every other day you grab a plastic water bottle, be like hot in like 5 minutes, whereas those ones just chuck in the bag, go adventuring like all day, and then on the way back, open it up. The bottle would be super hot, but you drink it and it's just ice cold, and you're like, amazing.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know how this works, but it worked, and amazing.
Well, you're doing a good job.
You got that right.
You know the spiel.
And then just like for the rest of the podcast, I'll just stand here like...
He's like this. He's like every time he drinks it, he's like...
yeah, no.
Well, yeah, Chili's, feel free to send us some water bottles. We want some water bottles.
Yeah.
Water bottles. Water bottle? How many times can I say water bottle?
Water bottle. They also do food pots and smoothie containers that do the same thing, which are cool.
Oh, okay.
I don't see us doing any like food pots,
Yeah.
smoothie containers.
Food pot? I don't know.
Where would you say you've had the most enjoyable nightlife? Like amongst all the travel you've kind of done?
Including here.
And also, after you tell us that, tell us what the best value for travel was in terms of nightlife as well. Because obviously, Europe to Asia to Australia, you're paying a certain amount for the same product.
Yeah.
You know, say a pint of beer or a stubby or whatever.
Ooh. I'd probably have to say Greece. Like, especially if you work there. Or not even. Like, there's a lot of people who are from Australia there as well. So, yeah. Drinks are cheap. Like, really cheap.
Oh, is that if you're working there or just for everyone in general?
Just in general.
Okay. Like how much for a beer, say?
Like a couple of euro. Like
A couple of euros. So what's that for us? $4?
like $4 or something. But even
about that.
like they'll do shooters, like, so they'll be like, oh, tequila for like €1.
Okay,
Which is like $2. Instead of like here, you're like, can I get a tequila? And they're like $12. You're like, okay.
Yeah, you'd be lucky to get a $6 shot.
I think that's why like the value to get over, like it cost.
Yeah, it costs a lot to get there.
It's a nightmare to get there.
Yeah, but they also have a different thing. So obviously alcohol over there is really cheap. So whereas like, so I feel like in Australia, you can have a busy, like you can have 300 people coming to your nightclub. If no one buys drinks, you had a shit night.
Yeah.
Whereas over there, alcohol is that cheap. That's not what they make their money on.
Yeah, everyone can afford the drinks.
So what they do is they do these things like 7-shot challenge, and you'll get like a t-shirt. And so it's like €25, and you do 7 shots, and you get like a singlet or a t-shirt with it. So that's where they make all their money. So it's, I don't know, it's just a different culture, but like...
Imagine if they did that here. You're not allowed to.
Yeah. Oh, but like at the same time, it's not like 7 tequila shots. It'll be like 7 wet pussy shots or 7 Kendall Jenner shots. I don't know.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so they were just like... So it's that, and you get the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Do you... have you done any? Do you have any shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But, yeah.
What did you win?
What do you mean?
No, not like, do you have any shirts? I mean, did you win any competitions?
For
these shots.
For dringing. The thing you were just talking
The
about 2
drinking.
seconds ago.
right. It's like mental blank. Like, what are we talking about? Where am I? No. No. I don't really think I did them when I was over there.
You didn't.
That was for the sucker tourists, don't forget.
Yeah.
He's like, I just grabbed them anyway.
Oh, no, well, obviously if I'm working, like I work at 2 of the bars, so so my work shirt is the shirts that you can get.
Oh. Yeah.
So that's fine. But then there's also times where like people I know who come from Perth, and they'll be like, yeah, we're going to go to this bar. And they'll, don't know why, but they'll be like, cool, I'm going to get 7 shots. They get a shirt. And then they'll do another 7 shots, get another shirt. And they're like, well, I don't want 2, you have 1. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you just did 14 shots that probably aren't going to get you drunk, but oh well.
It's the advertising though. When people
Tourists.
see seven shots, they're like, Yeah, I've got to do that.
7 shots and a shirt.
Yeah, whereas it's
And they're
like, do you want one shot? Nah, it's all right. I'll
Especially-
just have a beer, but I'll
especially
take the 7.
with the amount it costs as well. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if alcohol was that cheap here? It'd
Yeah.
be good.
Be good. But yeah.
What's the accommodation price over there as well? Because obviously, like,
Well, you didn't actually. His initial question was, "What your favorite place was Greece
Yeah.
nightlife? The quality for money."
Like
yeah, that's what we're
that
getting
is
to because he said about the flights are expensive. He's saying the drinks are cheap. Like, how does accommodation for people that have never been there that want to go? How does it all stack up at the end?
You can find cheap accommodation. Like, you can either stay at like some of the resorts that will be like couple of hundred euro sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can find places that are like €10 a night, which is like,
Like a hostel.
yeah, almost like a hostel, but like, or like some, it'll be like, cool, there's just like 2 beds in like 1 room.
Yeah,
And so you just
because
share
I know in like Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
you can get, say, even from 25 Australian dollars a night, you
Yeah.
can get a decent place.
Yeah.
If you need to travel, Joel's like on top of when it comes to no, seriously,
Budget travels, man. Budget
no,
travel.
everything to do with like Asia, like Bangkok, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I think accommodation wise, you probably get the better value in like Indonesia and like those sort of
Yeah.
places. Like I just went to Bali not too long ago, stayed in Canggu, paid like $40 a night and had like a villa, and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah,
Whereas like in Greece, in Greece it's different. But I find depends on what you're there for. Like a lot of people probably come through on a Kentucky, there for like 2 nights.
yeah.
So-
they don't care too much.
They don't
just wanna
care
get
too much.
shit-faced. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas even for us, like one of the rooms that I have is like a bed with another person, but we're in like a share house with all our other bar crew that are there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're in Greece. You don't really need to sit down in your room all day.
Yeah.
Like
You're just there to sleep.
yeah, like I used to like sleep, charge my camera gear, and then during the day, cool, we'll go out, go adventure.
Yeah.
Or even just go down by like the pool, like at one of the little resorts and stuff, and just chill out. Like
Yeah.
you don't really spend too much time in your hotel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
do get that.
yeah.
So what would you say? Where would you say after Greece that had the best nightlife, value for money, kind of all round? If you were like, say, someone was like, "Oh, you've only got $1,000-$1,500," where would you be like, "This is guaranteed, mad party, affordable, and all the rest"?
Koh Tao, Thailand.
Koh Tao.
Yeah, it's like the biggest.
Oh, Koh Tao. Is that near Koh Samui?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that it's got like the biggest bar crawl
Yeah.
south of the equator, I think it is. And that's good value for money. They get you really drunk for very cheap. And it's like such an amazing island as well. But on this,
Have you been there?
No, I haven't gone there.
No.
I have gone places that I think are cheaper, and the nightlife is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, there's like, it's a dive island at the same time.
Yeah.
So I want to go back there towards the end of the year and go get my diving ticket because it's so cheap over there compared to here.
Yeah, I have heard
Like,
that.
I'm pretty sure you can book a flight, get your diving ticket, and come back cheaper than what you'd get like your diving ticket here.
Yeah, to get your diving ticket, I think in Koh Tao is the second cheapest in the world.
Yeah.
But the first cheapest is some sketchy place in South America that you'd never go to. So you may as well consider that the
Yeah.
cheapest place in the world.
No one's going to South America.
Yeah.
Not the sketchy place, this sketchy little island.
Where is it?
I can't remember, but I do know you may as well just consider that the cheapest. Because after you've paid for the flight to South America, of course, for us,
Yeah.
It would
and
be very expensive.
And your protection.
and your protection and your travel insurance,
Oh, God,
you may as
yeah.
well just go to nice,
Yeah.
lush little Koh Tao.
Is it nice there?
Yeah, yeah. Well, when we were there, I worked at one of the little bars called Fishbowl.
Yep.
So I was just there, did photos like a couple of nights a week, which is like I found it really cool compared to like Greece. Last year I was there for 64 days. I worked 60 days straight.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like you don't like with bartenders and DJs and stuff. It's a little bit I don't want to say easier, but like there's more of them so they can switch. Whereas I'm the only photographer that's like on the
Yeah.
island pretty much. So if I'm sick, it's either like I have to really be sick and not come in, or just like suck it up and come in anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only photographer that's there. So they can't just switch me out with someone else for a night. So but like Koh Tao was like, oh, I only have to come in three nights a week instead of like 7 days a week. So
That's not too bad.
What's
Yeah.
the drink price in Koh Tao?
good question.
You can just tell me how much you paid in Thai baht and I'll know.
I can't remember.
You can't
It
remember?
was like the start of last year that I
Oh,
went.
okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So I can't really remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's still cheap as well. They do buckets,
Yeah.
and that is dangerous. It's like,
Like an actual bucket?
yeah, like it'll be like
It's
five-
like the height of this glass and probably like that round.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'd say it's roughly $12, eh?
I think some of them are a little bit cheaper. Like you can get something
Yeah.
like $9 or something, and it's like you're like, oh yeah, I'll have the kiwi fruit one, and they're like, cool, and they just like pour like a mug of just like alcohol, and they just like pour it in there. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
was not expecting that, and then they'll just like blend it up into like a slushy, and you're like, and they're like, there you are, and you're like, cool. Have like you just finish like one bucket. You're like, I'll have one bucket, and that's it.
Yeah.
You finish up one bucket, and you're like, whoa.
There's no liquor licensing there.
Oh, this is all just off like street vendors on the side
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
road.
God.
If you drink the local booze, it's generally trustworthy. You might get a bit of a headache the next day, but the local stuff is
that's
cheap.
called a hangover.
You're gonna get it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah. No, I found obviously there's misconceptions about like some dodgy, sketchy alcohol within Asia, but I found when I was traveling, like you said, those buckets
Yeah.
in those places when you see them crack the bottles and all the rest, they were
Yeah.
generally trustworthy kind of alcohol.
Yeah, and especially if it's part of like some of them are like part of the bar crawl, like
Yeah.
not. So they'd be like, we'll specifically go past this vendor.
Oh yeah,
for
we'll
it.
specifically go to this exact one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I get you.
I've
Yeah.
done that over east it was the Gold Coast, and they did like it was one of those things where the hell are you doing, Joel?
Just slides under the table.
And he just dropped his phone as well.
I don't care, man. My legs cramp.
Oh god,
While he's dealing with his leg cramp,
you got to get onto magnesium. Have some magnesium, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I need something. I had a Barocca on the way.
are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You fine? Yeah. I'm just gonna. Hopefully, there's like just an image of him just like laying back. He's like,
Just slid under.
Just get him with like his eyes half like.
what was on the Gold Coast, and they were doing it was a like bar crawl. They did. I hope we get it here one day. They had bowling, 10-pin bowling with a bar and pizza.
Sick.
So you could 10-pin bowl while eating pizza and getting drunk.
Oh, you can do that here.
That's standard in Asia,
Where?
man. That's like everywhere.
The Rosemount does it. Pretty sure the Rosemount there's a bar. Like
No, but this is like a dedicated like.
Oh.
Like I'm talking like it's a full like 10-pin bowling alley.
Like a bowling alley.
But like where you'd like usually buy like shoes and lollies and crap.
Yeah.
It's a bar.
Oh yeah, no, I think. Oh, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure that's what the Rosemount does. Up top, there's like you got the bowling alley, and then you can buy food behind you, and then a bar.
Yeah, but it's a pub. But what I'm trying to like, this is an actual bowling alley.
I went to a bowling alley.
Like you can take your kids there in the day. Like it's not like a bar or a pub or anything with a bowling alley.
Yeah.
It's a dedicated bowling alley.
Oh, okay.
So you can and you can book it out. Like they have like lanes where they're like glassed off. So it's
Yeah.
like you can like book 2 lanes off, and like you guys are just like
Okay.
enclosed. So you can like it's pretty cool.
sick.
I think it's strike bowling or something along those lines.
over east.
Yeah, it's on the
Okay.
Gold Coast. They've got like over there, like it's different to here. But
What you look like it was that you're like different, but you look like you were thinking better.
and is it just I want a bowling alley with pizza and some alcohol.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
No, but what I'm saying is like how they do the same thing where like you're gonna pub crawl, not strike bowling, but we went there.
Yeah.
But like you would go to like a specific nightclub. There, they give you a free drink, and like you go and experience that nightclub, and then
yeah.
you go along to like different ones.
Yeah.
Like you kind of, they take you different places. So
Yeah. Do we have bar crawls in Perth?
Yeah, there is for like events.
I think that if people create, there's no company. I don't think there's any companies that. Maybe there is. If there is,
I've seen people do it with matching shirts. I don't know if it was self-organized or if they hired someone to do it for them or what, but it can be done.
yeah, I get.
But then, I feel like if you live, like wherever you live, like if we live in Perth, we can just make our own bar crawl because we know where to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just pick
Yeah.
a street and you go up and down.
it's called going out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You just.
I think that's what most young people
But
do.
I think it
bar
like
crawl.
these obviously on the Gold Coast, like it's a party place.
Yeah.
So they're making money off of like
Yeah.
it's heavily touristed, whereas here it's not like we don't do amazing with tourists. Like, I don't know.
We still drink a lot, but
Yeah.
We don't have a bowling alley with someone.
yeah, I know. What is this? Now I'm sitting here like we need a bowling alley. That pizza and
I feel like
alcohol.
pizza now and bowling.
I went to this one bowling alley
Let's
once.
scrap this. All right, let's finish the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go out.
I went to this one bowling alley once, and they had
I'm gonna look it up while we're doing this.
proper nightclub moving heads all along the roof, like
Where?
pretty much
Where was it?
in Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, and they had a DJ booth. They had a full bar. Basically, you just waved the bloke over, told him what you wanted. He pulled out his little menu, shone his little torch on it,
Oh wow.
and then he'd bring the cocktails, whatever you wanted over,
Yeah.
and it was going off.
That's hectic.
That's
Like,
probably
good.
something like what you went to. Is that right?
Say it again. Sorry, I was sidetracked. I'm trying to concentrate.
Basically,
on
a nightclub bowling alley.
yeah, it was similar to
Like you say, in the day you can bring the kids, and at night time it's like a place you can go drink, hang out, go on a date or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a nightclub, but it's like a party place.
yeah. Essentially, yeah. I will be stand corrected. I forgot of one. Lookout have a bowling alley.
Look
In
at
Scarborough.
Scarborough. Yeah,
Is that
that was
Matisse?
where.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was Matisse?
Yeah, Matisse.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I haven't been there, but I just I'm googling it now. But yeah, they have.
A bowling alley.
All I can see is the good old jukebox to me.
All right, and Roseman as well. I'm looking at. Yeah, they can do. Oh, well, there you go. You can drink. All right, this off. Let's go.
I think most bowling alleys these days you can order at least an alcoholic drink.
You can order an alcohol.
You can order a good old.
Can I please order one alcohol?
Are you serving the alcohol?
One alcohol, please. I guess there was something that I wanted to delve into more, which was so your social media, especially Instagram, has grown
Yeah.
massively. I think when I knew you started off at, I think you had like 1,000 followers on
Yeah.
Instagram, and I checked before we started, and you got like 8.5 or something like that. You
Absolutely loving it.
nearly at 10.
The dream.
Sorry. How important do you feel that you're, especially Instagram? Like I know a lot of people are steering away from, like creators are steering away from like Facebook and all of that. But how
Sounded like it's in the other room.
Yeah.
how did you feel the use of like social media, like Instagram has benefited you? Like obviously these brands are seeing you on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like is that where they're seeing you, and are they?
Yeah, so I'm not someone who's very like, hang on, let me word this right. Like I use.
You can say whatever
like,
you want.
I use Instagram a lot. Like I will use it daily. But yeah, it is.
Do you want me to say what you were about to say? Is that you're not insecure about your followers?
Oh
and-
yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, yeah. But it's just something that's just grown over time, and it's cool because that's where a lot of the brands and stuff will see me, and I find it somewhere I can just showcase my work. Like I do have a Flickr where I put a lot more photos up on, but it's like you have 2 followers, and I'm like, all right, cool, and no one uses Flickr. Like
What's Flickr?
Yeah, the Flickr.
That's their slogan. The Flickr.
But yeah, no. So like that's just something I just put up all my photos on there, and I've put them. But yeah, and like, but nothing.
So is everyone like all these brands? So you've obviously, I think you have Wanderers.
Yeah. So the brands at the moment are like Wanderer, Chili's, Salty Dogs. I'm gonna get crucified for not remembering some, and some other brands.
All right. So
but
whoever
this Chili's.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
whoever Lewis didn't just say, forget about him. Send us some stuff, and we'll put it on the back here, and you can have a spot there, and we'll.
We've got some platforms for you.
Yeah, podcast.
Yeah.
You can get your podcast seen on our. You can get your product seen on our podcast.
yeah.
yeah.
I find it like So it's. I
You're
think
not
at the
insecure
moment,
about the amount of followers you have,
Yeah.
but you use it as a.
Yeah.
Do you find it vital? Is what I'm trying to.
sort of, but like. I find it very vital on like a lot of things. Like obviously there's a lot of brand collaborations and collaborating just even with other creatives and like finding like other models or other photographers to collab with or brands. It's really Instagram's sort of like that place that, you know, everyone uses. Like no one really uses Facebook anymore. Like
I do.
Oh, like I mean like for like branding stuff, I find
Yeah.
a brand's not going to scroll through Facebook and be like, oh, Lewis, blah, blah. It's like it's all through Instagram. But I found at the same time we got to a point where I was almost forcing myself to post stuff like every day because people like.
Did you have a time where you had to? You were posting.
Yeah,
daily?
there was a time where I was like trying to post like every day, and then got to the point where like I'm like now I have to find like another caption to write. I'm like I don't really feel like posting today. Like I don't really want to like, but like apparently the thing is like, oh, if you don't post every day, if you don't do this, the algorithm puts you in this. I'm like, all right, but I was just like, I'm still just gonna post my stuff anyway. But like, there was a point where it was like, so I really appreciate like and love music photography, but then I was on a roll of shooting all this travel stuff because we did like the East Coast, then did Greece, and then did Indonesia. So a lot of my following went to travel stuff.
Yeah,
and then then like so like I post a photo. It's like like 700 likes on the photo. I was like like cool, and then I'm like I've just taken one of my like. Personally, I think one of my best photographs, but it's of like a band, and I'll post it, and like no one really cares about it. So like,
have you moved? Because like, you look through your Instagram now,
yeah,
and it is very like it's all travel. Like you're more moving to that travel lifestyle kind of.
Yeah, and just recently it's been like a few like portrait stuff as well that I'm starting to delve into. Because like if you look like way back, it's like music, this, and it was like all these like different things that I was doing.
Oh no,
then,
I went right back. To
and then it's sort of, and then it like that travel sort of side like picked up, and then so then you have a look, and this is like all travel, like one music photo, and then all travel again. Because it got to a point where I was like, no one really cares what I'm posting now; they just want travel stuff. So there was a point where I was sitting there like, well, I don't want to, like, I really want to post this sick like photo, but no one's gonna like it and no one cares about it. And then after a while I was sort of sat there and I was like, well, to be honest, it's like if they're following me, I'm gonna post
what you want,
what I want.
You don't want
to
post what they
and like so it's like I was like, I'm just gonna post whatever I want. People like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But like especially like a lot of the brand stuff and the portrait stuff, I find that shows my brand as well. And if I don't post it, no one's going to see that I'm doing the branding stuff and like the portraits and all that.
Have you thought of separating them? Hang on. Have you thought of separating them?
Yes. But that's about as far as it's gone. It's just a thought.
No.
As in like
that following, and then you're going to build it up again.
Yeah, and it's sort of like
then it's two
there was a while where I was like, I want to change it instead of Lewis Martin photo, just Lewis Martin, and that have all the travel, all that cool stuff, and then have like a Lewis Martin photo or media account, which would just be like all the branding and all that other stuff as well. But I was just sort of like, I don't think I can commit and run two at the same time. Like I can, at the moment, I'm struggling just to run my only like account. I'm like, I can't even deal with having a second one at the moment.
Do you have any secrets on how you grew all these people out there that are like wanting to grow their accounts? Not secrets. How did you grow it in the last couple of years from?
I think it was like collaborating, getting like I don't know. It's hard. It's that travel stuff really. So many people love that travel stuff, and it's sort of. I was talking to Blake, who's Boston Switch, about it a while back, and we saw this. We read this massive article, and it's like, post portrait photos instead of landscape because on a phone they'll get seen bigger. So if you post like a landscape, it's like this big, but a portrait will be like this big. Yeah. The travel stuff, either way, people are going to love. And then I think it's just like the people you tag and the hashtags, all those sort of things. And that's, but like at the moment, I'm trying to, so at the moment I'm just trying to like move from just like that travel stuff and just post a lot more my own sort of vibe at the moment.
Yeah.
I hope that people sort of, but it's funny because like I hit like the 8,000 mark like a few months ago, and it just literally just goes like gain 5, lose 6, gain 6, lose 5.
I feel
And
like
it's
once
like-
you hit like that, you hit that benchmark, and then you kind of, it just sits like
Yeah.
you'll gain 10 and then you'll lose a couple,
Yeah.
and you're like, but then once you kind of over that threshold, it
Yeah.
kind of
But I'm hoping as well, like these new people who are following me, and these people who are unfollowing me are either people that don't care or like inactive followers or
Or
whatever.
fake.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool if I lose however many 100 or whatever. But if there's the people that are following me actually are there because they want to see it, then that doesn't bother me. Like as long as people there like my stuff and want to see it. So
definitely.
yeah.
Oh, well, basically, this is an ongoing question for everyone that comes through here, but is there any advice or anything you could tell people that are where you were when you first started that would like to kind of get to where you are now?
Do you want to take a breath and redo that so that it makes more sense?
It made sense.
Yeah. So you're pretty much just hang on. So you're pretty much just saying,
What I'm saying
is there
is-
any advice for me to give to like newer people that are coming into it that want to push their
Yeah, you got
Photography.
it. Nailed it.
yeah?
Yeah, well, okay, with what where you are right now,
Wait.
is there any advice you would have given yourself 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago that would have been like really good, which you would have been like, oh, I wish I had known
like
that.
when you started?
Yeah.
Like, is there something? You know?
Advice I'd give myself.
You can take a minute to think because it's not.
I don't know. I think just like there's a lot of like cliche stuff, but like it actually is true. Like just putting yourself out there, trying to find a lot of like finding a heap of gigs.
What's your thing on working for free? What's your?
That's a
I was like-
controversial one.
I know that's it because you're about to move
Working
on.
for free.
Working for free.
No, I think like nowadays I try and obviously not shoot anything for free, but
What's your thought? All right, let me rephrase. What's your thought of working for free when you're starting out?
I think you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like there's people I know that have sort of like, yeah, I'm getting into the video stuff. I'm going to charge $1,000 for a video. I'm like, well, you can't because you've never done video before. Like, I think everyone has to do it at some point. Like, even just to get their name out there, even just for experience. Like, a lot of the short films, like I'm producer now on a short film that I'm working on with one of my friends. Everyone that's coming onto it, no one's making any money off it, but you have to sort of, there are things that you need to do. Hang on, there are projects that you have to work on for free, but I think it's like a fine line. It's like you don't want to undersell yourself and be like, yeah, I'll do all this stuff for free. But at the same time, getting your foot in the door, there are times where you can't be like, I'm going to charge my normal rate, this, and this.
Where's the line, do you think, of when you go from, because you're saying there's that fine line of where do you start charging? At what point?
I think it just depends on what it is, though, like what you're shooting. Like, if you were to shoot like a nightclub or stuff like that, you charge them. Like, I wouldn't rock up and do anything like that for free.
Yeah.
But if it's something like,
But I mean, like when
wanna-
you're starting out,
yeah,
and you've worked for free for, I don't know, let's say a year.
yeah.
How do you know when it's time to start charging?
I don't know. I think once you just have a couple of things under your belt,
Yeah.
and that's like you have like a portfolio that you can showcase what you can do. Because like if you're shooting music stuff, you're not your first gig. You're not going to be like, oh, give me $500 because whatever. It's like you need to do it for free.
Yeah.
Just sort of like just to get like 1 or 2 projects to get under your belt, so you can showcase your work and then build a value from that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Would you say with like paid work versus free work, it's kind of when people start requesting you because they've seen what you've done. Whereas like if you're hitting up people initially because you want to get your foot in the door, like you
Yeah.
said, and you kind of want to build that experience, it's like, okay, well, you kind of expect it to work for free. But when like people start requesting you
Yeah.
as the like the artist,
Yeah.
in
they
your
want
field,
like they want like your brand.
they want you, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if you want that, that's what you're going to pay for.
Yeah. I just completely forgot what I was going to say. Damn it, I had a really good point as well. I forgot.
No.
We need this good point.
I know. yeah. This is the make or break point, and I just can't remember it.
You can take a moment to.
Yeah.
So, Joel, how was your day?
It wasn't there. Maybe we need to see the Mordu. Actually, I'm pretty sure Mordu is a Thai word.
I really hope it's not like translating to something else.
No, I'm gonna check.
Mordu is definitely a Lord of the Rings character.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I'm just gonna say
No,
now.
Mordor's a place in Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yes, no, it is.
Mordor's a place, and this thing. This
Mordu is a real person.
No, hang on.
you can have a
Taking
look.
this off flight mode.
Yeah, you've lost this,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah, but yeah, I think pretty much what I've said about the. Yeah, just you need like a few things just under your belt to showcase what you can do
Before you.
before you can start charging stuff. Oh, actually, no, I do remember what I was going to say.
Okay, good.
I find that sometimes when you do free work.
Told you, Mordu. It's a fortune teller,
Oh,
but in Thai.
oh, okay.
I was wondering what the hell you were doing just then.
I love how it is in like the Thai accent as well. Like, but yeah, so I find that sometimes, but even when you're starting out, you have to know not to be pushed around.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was been times where like someone was like, "Oh, we need to do this charity video, this, and this." I was like, "Cool."
It's such a touchy subject when people start going on about charity work or
Yeah.
working, like, because it's. I'm treading on eggshells when it comes to this.
I'll just say it. Like with my experience, like I've had a lot of like I shoot this thing called Sofa Sounds, and it's a non-for-profit. Like people rock up, play a few songs, and then people just come and listen. And I don't get paid for it, but we put it on because we're trying to like promote these local artists and stuff like that. They're really good to me, but there have been experiences that I've had where you pretty much get taken for a ride, where they're like, "Oh, change this," and you'll finish the whole video, and they're like, "Actually, change the song," and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
"So I have to redo the whole video,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, but you can't really say anything about it because you're not getting paid for it." Like,
I've had that, like,
Yeah.
doing free work and helping someone out, and
yeah,
like I don't know, the expectation from them is like, I want this done tomorrow, and
Yeah.
you can wait a little while. Like,
yeah, especially and that yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, but I think it's just with anything. You have good customers, bad customers, whether it's free or paid.
Yeah.
They're up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, look, we were sorry. We are coming up to. We're going to get to your the thing that you brought for us today. But I guess before we get to that, is there anything that you've thought about, Joel, that you want to ask Lewis? That Lewis, not this Lewis. There you go.
Where'd you get your big headphones from?
Wow.
What brand are they?
Audio Technica.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're so good.
I just realised as well. So I'm just going to describe it for everyone that's listening and can't see them. So they're over the ear, so they're quite big. They're pink, kind of like a mesh on the outside.
They're future retro.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, it goes over the head, but then you've got like these like Star Trek kind of like things that rest on your head. They're
Kind
weird.
of cup to your head, yeah.
These things,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're just like cushions for like your head.
I can see that they're cushions,
And
but
it's so good, so comfortable.
it looks like it's reading your mind.
It is. No, I don't even know.
Would you
where
say
I
it's
got these.
Professor X?
Yeah,
A little bit Professor X.
it's minus the pink on
Yeah.
them.
Minus the future
No, they're-
retro.
We're gonna get a photo of it. We'll put this up on our Instagram. A
Yeah.
photo of Lewis with these
Yeah.
headphones on.
No, they're actually really good headphones. I can't even remember. These are very old headphones, like at least like 7 years.
Oh wow!
Like, but they've just lasted so long that I've never had to get other ones.
I've got
It looks like you could knuckle down and do some work with those because I've got some over the ones that sit on your ear, kind of like these, and they get a bit tight, and it's kind of like your head kind of gets hot.
Yeah, I find sometimes with the on-ear ones, it's like if you wear them for ages, like your ears, my ears start to hurt because I feel like just like
Yeah,
squishing
which
my
causes
ears
a
in.
bit of a headache as well.
Yeah,
Those
whereas-
look like you could get a lot of work
Yeah.
done.
so it would be really good if you had these things that look like hearing aids, hey, that just sit around your ears that are really
Yeah.
comfy.
I got a feeling that those would kind of feel a little bit invasive.
Nah, these are I love these. They're
Yeah.
so comfy. What I was going to say is, what do you use to edit? Like when you're editing videos, do you use those headphones? Do you use like?
Yeah, so I mainly use these.
Yeah.
Unless I'm traveling, sometimes I won't bring these because they're just big
They're
and bulky.
ginormous.
Yeah. So I'll just have like
That's like his carry-on is
Because
just
he's
so
restricted
Yeah.
on weight.
but yeah, no, these are great for like everything when it comes to like sound. Like 'cause these are surround sound as well, so it's really
That
cool.
better be.
Yeah.
They're big enough.
You would
I
hope
know.
so.
Although actually, I will say the only problem with these is that because they're not like encased.
You can hear.
Like in here, it won't be that loud, but you can also hear it.
Through the
Like you guys could like if I was to play a song now in here, it'd be like normal level, but you guys could hear it very loud as well.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
It sounds like escaping.
yeah,
Yeah.
But for like editing and everything, these are so good. They're very flat.
Joel's like looking over. He wants to get himself a pair, don't you?
I'm thinking about this year's model of
You
those.
should definitely get these for DJing.
No, not for DJing. It'd
You'll
be
be,
more.
you'll be the coolest kid.
It'd be
I
more
promise.
so studio stuff.
You just rock
I would
up,
not
you
wear
just rock
those
up to your
DJ.
set and you're just like, right, let's do it.
You want the smallest headphones possible for
Yeah.
DJ.
Nah, but no, these are really good. Like I don't know, I find Audio Technica really cool for
Yeah.
For work.
for working and stuff. Like I would probably if these broke, then I'd get another pair, but I wouldn't change this.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah.
let's. I've been glancing over at whatever is over there. So
Oh.
why don't you grab it out? We'll do a little bit of a drum roll as we've
Oh.
done previously.
So I've just brought you some printed photos.
Oh,
for you guys to
nice.
have. Just because
Do you want to maybe pass me the lid so you can?
it's actually connected at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I'll just bring these two out. Oh. I'll just put that
That's
there.
nice. We've got something visual.
Yeah, it's good.
So this is
What country is that?
So this is in Finland.
Oh wow.
This
Oh,
is
lovely.
the Northern Lights. I don't know if that camera can see it.
Yeah, should be able
Yeah,
to.
and then that's
That looks very familiar, that boat.
that's ģᴇʀᴇ. That's the sunset over the beach. I was sort of like sitting there. I was like, I don't know what I can bring. I was like, I don't have
Stuff.
stuff. I was like, I have prints.
So thank you for bringing them. We'll put them. We're gonna put them up the top, kind of.
Yeah.
Because they won't fit in there.
Yeah,
We'll get-
like as I walked in, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
cut it in half.
I've wanted something. You can't see it on any of the cameras, but like up the top there, we'll kind of put them up there and we'll frame them. So
Yeah.
Any stories between those two? Like, is there any? Or do you have? Is there more that are under? You've got more that are underneath,
Oh, in here. Oh no.
or is there any specific stories that you have with between those?
Yeah, so this was hang on. Oh, actually, these were both shot on the first days of the trip.
Yeah.
So this one, we were staying in this place in Finland, and they were like, "Oh, we'll call you if there's any like Northern Light activity."
Yeah.
So we're like, "Okay, cool." And then it's like 2:00 in the morning, and we just get this phone call. Originally, it came through, and I like rolled over, and I was like, "Oh, like."
Forget about it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know who's calling me. So I like rolled over,
Yeah.
and then it called again, and then I was like, oh, they're probably calling us about the Northern Lights. So I answered. They're like, oh yeah, there's Northern Light activity outside. So when we rocked up, we had our Kathmandu ski jackets, and they were just like, yeah, no, like, good try, but no. So we literally had these massive they're big like jumpsuits sort of things, and they were like really thick. And you had these like massive boots. You had to wear like at least like 2 or 3 pairs of socks because it was like, especially at night, it was like negative. I think one of the nights we got like negative 36 or something Celsius.
I can imagine you walked into like, is it Kathmandu, the shot? You were like, we're going to Finland, give us some puffy jackets.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh no, I'm pretty sure it was just like an old jacket from when I went to Canberra, and I was like, it snows in Canberra when we were there. It's going to snow in Finland.
No, you need
so-
thermals, man. You need thermals.
So I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And then we rocked up. I was like, nah. Yeah, so I had no idea.
that's a beautiful photo.
Yeah, I had no idea that.
Did it
You
look
could see
beautiful?
it.
Like, is it really?
Yeah, it's like you know how like people do like star photos and stuff, and they really have to like you would know as a photographer, like 1/30th of a second to
Yeah.
like bring it all in. Whereas, and you don't really see it as much like, except for when you take the photo and
Yeah.
you like edit it, you're like, oh, then there's like the Milky Way and stuff. Whereas that, you walk out and you literally can see that in the sky.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, and then this one is also the first day that we were there in ģᴇʀᴇ.
That's lovely.
But yeah, this one, I've like run out with like my tripod and like my camera. I'm like looking like this little like, I don't know.
Eskimo?
Yeah, and like everyone else is just like walked out like, oh yeah, oh that's nice. I'm like trying to like set this tripod like up in the snow. I'm trying to take photos, and it's so cold that I was scared that if I stood out there for too long, like something was going to happen. Oh no, just with my camera.
Oh.
So I went to do a time lapse, and I got like 10 minutes into the time lapse, and I was like, okay, my camera's probably going to break, so I'm going to take this back inside. But apparently, like with the Canons and the Nikons with the big batteries, they're fine. But even with your phone, like you'd pull your phone out because it's that cold. I don't know what the term is, but like my phone would be like 100%, and we'd be like dog slaying or whatever. Pull out my phone, take a Snapchat, go to like post it, and then it'll literally be like 60%, and like 40% would just be like taken off because it's that cold with that.
I was trying to keep it warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, so the phones would die.
That's insane.
I think even like the GH5s and like the Sony batteries, because they're smaller as well, they tend to like have like a really short lifespan, or like not lifespan, but like they'll go from 100 to 0.
It's struggle. Yeah, they use
a lot quicker. Yeah. Whereas with the Canons and the Nikons, because they got those massive batteries, they're fine. They just last. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah.
Oh well, no, thank you for bringing them in. There,
right.
It's interesting. Like I think it's a smart concept we came up with because as we said last time, we fill up our we fill up our set, but at the same time you kind of get like a story, like it's a piece of like you being here basically. So no, thank you for bringing those in.
That's all good.
Joel, is there anything you want to say before we close today?
Yeah. When Lewis is dreaming of a better day, he'll be coming and looking at all these pictures you've got.
So what?
I said, when you're dreaming of a better day, you'll be coming through looking at pictures of Finland, ģᴇʀᴇ, and anything else in here.
I may or may not walk in here every so often when I'm in the office. I'm like,
did you have more in there?
Oh yeah. These are just other ones that I've had printed for a while.
no.
Go around town.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
So these are some that I got printed off like a couple of years back.
That looks pretty
But
nice. Is that one Perth?
Yeah. So this one's Perth. I'll quickly show you.
Oh, wait.
That's Perth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, for a lot of people that don't actually know, Perth is actually a nice place to visit.
Yeah.
Like, we've got really clean, nice coastlines here.
Can we please have that one?
Sure. This one was in Armenia.
Oh wow, that's a beautiful. Have any of you?
I think Jack Daniels would probably like to buy that off you.
It was just like.
Has anyone tried that? Just like, has anyone tried the Jack
honey
Daniels, the honey one?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
so good.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
I tried all the honey. So Jim Beam did honey.
Yeah,
all the honey.
I tried all that. What were you saying about that?
No. So this was just like that Jack Daniels photos was just something we were in. So my dad's Armenian, so we were like went there just
Who
to go.
does your dad look like again?
Arj Barker.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
We'll get a comparison photo of my dad and Arj Barker.
yeah. We'll do that after.
But yeah, and then just like we went in, and I was like, that lighting on that Jack Daniels bottle looks really cool. And that was like when I was like just getting into photography. I just bought my 50mm, and I was like, ooh, took it, and I was like, actually, it turned out really cool.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, so these ones have just been printed over the years.
Do you just have those
like that was that's like just
bags? Is that
bags
bags?
in Bali? Like my first trip to Bali. Same with this one, which is like a random plant in Bali.
Leaves. Yeah. I've seen that photo before.
Yeah, I was gonna actually give this to Blake and Ash. That's ģᴇʀᴇ.
That's
right. That's like the
lovely.
whole like beware falling coconuts, and they're just sitting there.
Here's a fun, interesting fact. Useless fact though. More people die of falling coconuts than shark attacks.
I've heard this, and
That's why you got to have signs. Beware of sharks. Beware of the falling
when
coconuts.
we first got there, I was like, that's a bit silly, and then I saw one fall, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It's true. Worldwide. That's why you should be. You should be more scared of a coconut tree than a shark attack.
Yeah, that's in Indonesia.
That's nice.
What's that in the corner?
Where?
Like a rock or something? Off to the right.
Or a swimming dog.
A swimming dog.
I think it's just like sticks and stuff that are just in the ocean. That's another one from ʟɪsᴛᴇ.
That's beautiful.
I thought it just looked really cool. The cool silhouette. I think. Nope, that's just one photo. Yeah, and then.
Well, you can see why you were.
Accidentally printed 2 of the same photos.
You can see why you are where you are with the
you.
work that you do, man. It's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Definitely dreaming of a better place looking at these pictures.
I just.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. The Jack Daniels thing. I just dream of a better place with that. No, but look, we appreciate you coming in and chatting to us.
Thanks for having me.
It's nice to catch up. Actually, before we go, how do you? Just to let everyone know, Lewis and he's mentioning Jackson as well. They have a podcast as well. How the hell do you say the name for that podcast or the name for that company? Because we tried it and I think we really butchered it.
It's Yasuke.collective.
Yasuke.
We did not say. I think you said Yasuke.
Yasuki.
Yeah.
Yasuke.
Yusuke.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yasuke.
Gotta have the A.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll put links to your socials. We'll put links to your podcast as well.
Yeah,
we'll show you guys some love.
Epic.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing everything with us. And
thank you for having me.
And running through. I guess it's just good to get different people's perspectives.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, thank you, Joel, again for being here. It's been lovely to sit next to you. Even though you got leg cramps, we'll sort that out next time.
Had a leg cramp.
But yeah, anyone listening, if you want to watch the videos, this will be up on YouTube as well, so you can watch us on there. We're not that much of a site, but you can watch anyway. And we'll link all of Lewis's stuff, socials, videos, the trailer for all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
epic.
Awesome. All right, thanks,
Cool.
man.